I'm either really going to hate these predictions or be really satisfied with them when all is said and done. But as promised, it's June 1st. Happy June, everybody. The year is already halfway over almost. And here are my final predictions for the Copa America groups. I'll be talking about who I expect to win each game, as well as to who's going to progress through the latter stages and ultimately lift the trophy. And just a disclaimer, uh, I had to really do some deep thinking on this because of recent squad developments and, news coming out of the 16 teams involved in this tournament, several setbacks and injuries, and we have to work with what we have. So here we go, the final predictions for this tournament. Starting off with Group A, which is by far the most difficult group in my opinion. You have the host nation, the United States, Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. There's literally no weak link in this entire group. Unlike all the other three groups, there's at least one team that the other three will look to pick on and pick up points, easy points against. But here, it's going to be an absolute brawl. All three of the United States opponents have finished in the quarterfinals of the World Cup at least either in 2014 or 2010. And you look at all four squads in this group, and I honestly believe that it's up in the air as far as who will advance. So going through each game, we have the United States against Colombia this Friday in the opening match, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to go through each game in each group and make a prediction. My prediction for the first game, the opening game, is unfortunately for my U.S. team. I think Colombia is going to win the first game, and I think the score is going to be either 2-1 or 1-0. I'm going to go with 2-1. I'm not going to predict who scores goals because that's way, way too specific. But I think we're going to lose the opening game. But I think having Colombia, the best team in the group, in the first match is a blessing because we get the hardest game out of the way, and then we can focus on Costa Rica and Paraguay. And the United States is a team that tends to perform better under pressure, so losing the first game would sort of clear the air, clear the smoke for the U.S. team. The second game, Costa Rica versus Paraguay, that has draw written all over it. I think in this group, Costa Rica and Paraguay are the two teams that have the best defense in this group. A lot of people saying, "Oh, Colombia's going to advance and then USA is going to come in second." But don't be surprised if Costa Rica and Paraguay advance because they by a significant margin have the best defenses, more so than Colombia or the United States. This match, therefore, I think is going to be a draw. It's going to be either a scoreless draw 0-0 or 1-1. In the next matches, we have the United States against Costa Rica and Colombia versus Paraguay. I think the United States will get revenge on Costa Rica and just barely eke out a 1-0 victory or a one-goal margin victory. The Costa Rica beat the U.S. at home here in the U.S. a few months ago during a friendly. It was an embarrassing loss because the United States were in poor form. We had just come off 3 consecutive losses at home. I don't think we're going to lose more than one match in this group because having the added advantage of being the host nation, having the crowd behind us, I think the United States should be able to defeat Costa Rica. It's a rivalry that we have with the Ticos, along with it we have with Mexico. Costa Rica, United States, and Mexico are the 3 best teams in CONCACAF right now. And the whole head-to-head record that we have with Costa Rica is pretty stunning because we've beaten them on the road, they've beaten us on the road, they've beaten us at home, we've beaten them at home. And I think that this is going to be all about a revenge match for the United States, and it's also going to be a match about staying alive. So 3 points here will be absolutely crucial, and I think that they'll get it. So the United States will beat Costa Rica 1-0. Now in the other match, Paraguay versus Colombia, I sense a draw there. They're two teams that know each other very well, very familiar with each other since they are from the same region and they compete against each other in World Cup qualifying. Statistically speaking, Paraguay has always had the edge on Colombia, but here, this match, guys, is all about defense versus offense. And Colombia is by far the best team in this group as far as attacking talent up front and in midfield. But during qualifying, Jose Peckerman has highlighted their difficulties with their back line and their relatively subpar form in qualifying thus far. So I think this match is going to be another draw, and I think it's going to be maybe 1-1 or 2-2. So that means in the final group games, in Group A, are the United States versus Paraguay and Colombia versus Costa Rica. And this might come as a surprise for some of you, but it's not fun making predictions without a few surprises here and there. So I'm going to throw one in right now. I think Costa Rica will beat Colombia in the final group game 2-1 or 1-0. Why do I think so? Because, as I said earlier, I think Costa Rica's defense, their back line with Duarte and Gamboa, will get them through. And I think Colombia will suffer a shock defeat. I saw the Colombia versus Haiti friendly a few days ago, and they beat Haiti as they were expected to. They should beat Haiti, but they exposed a lot of frailties at the back. And I think that a team like Costa Rica that is more tactically disciplined than Colombia, as we saw at the 2014 World Cup, will be able to exploit that. And I think Costa Rica ekes out a narrow win. In the final match with the United States, I think the United States will draw with Paraguay 1-1. The United States will do just enough to get through to the next round. Yes, I'm predicting that Paraguay will draw all 3 games in this Copa America, which is not unprecedented for them. They drew all of their games on the way to the final in the 2011 Copa America. And Paraguay is a team that just knows how to grind out results when they absolutely have to. I don't think they're going to be the weak link that everyone thinks they are. That's utter madness. If you look at the tactics for all teams, Paraguay under Ramon Diaz, their new manager, is honestly the most disciplined one out of all of them. Not defensively, as I think that's Costa Rica, but if you look at the team overall, I think that they are in good form in World Cup qualifying. They should have beaten Brazil a couple of months ago in 2-0, but they allowed Brazil to come back to tie the game 2-2. They had the lead against Ecuador in Quito in high altitude. They could have won that game. They're doing pretty damn well right now. And I think that they're going to get a result in each of their games. So I think Paraguay is going to get 3 draws out of this encounter. So looking at the final standings, I have no team in this group is going to finish above 4 points. I think every team is going to lose a game except Paraguay, who draws all 3 of theirs. And actually, guys, I don't think Colombia is going to advance out of this group. I think there's too many unanswered questions, and Jose Peckerman is going to have to answer them after this tournament. He might be fired. I know that a lot of people are going to pick Colombia to advance and go to the semifinals, but I like making bold predictions. It's not fun to pick all the favorites all the time. So I think Costa Rica, despite not having their Keylor Navas, their number 1 goalkeeper, at the between the goalposts, I think their defense is going to do the same job they did at Brazil in the 2014 World Cup, and they're going to win the group. So I have Costa Rica winning the group, and the United States, USA, finishing in 2nd, Colombia in 3rd, and Paraguay in 4th. So moving on, Group B is Brazil, Peru, Haiti, and Ecuador. In no particular order. I just named all 4 teams. I think this is a group that Ecuador can absolutely win because you look at who Brazil is bringing to the tournament. There's no Neymar, there's no Douglas Costa, there's no Firmino, because Brazil's taken priority for the Olympics this summer. They want to win it since they're hosting it, and they've never won the gold medal. But I feel like Brazil are still the favorites to win this group just because they're Brazil, and just because looking at the other teams in this group, they should roll over on Haiti. They're playing against a Peruvian team that Coach Ricardo Gareca is bringing mostly an experimental squad from the domestic league at home in Peru. So they're not going to be at full strength like they were the last two Copa Americas, where they finished third place both in 2011 and 2015. So I don't think Peru is going to get out of this group, even though traditionally they do very well at the Copa America. I think that they're going to beat Haiti in their opening game, as should everyone else in the group. No disrespect to Haiti, but at most they're going to get a draw with Ecuador, and they're going to lose to Brazil. Ecuador has a great chance to win this group by either beating Brazil in the opening match or by winning on goal difference, since they have a lot of attacking talent on the wings. They're very fast. I think other than Mexico, Ecuador are probably the best attacking squad in this tournament as far as playing on the right wings and crossing. So I think the opening match Brazil-Haiti is going to be a draw. And